Hey guys, so today I'm gonna talk about Bitcoin and why I think it's going lower. But before that, I'm gonna start with a quick disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and nothing shared here is financial, investment, tax, or legal advice. I combine technical chart analysis with fundamental analysis to form my own market views. My analysis is based on price action, market structure, historical patterns, and key fundamental factors. I don't follow hype or narrative. Now that's out of the way, I'm gonna go over Bitcoin and show you why I think there's high probability of we going lower. So back in the 2017 high, right? We we went down all the way 83% from the highs. So in the 2021 high up to the lows, we went down 77%, 76%. So this clearly show us diminishing returns and diminishing losses in this move to the downside. So diminishing losses. So even if we get diminishing losses this time around and we even fall 70%, which will be way less than the previous time around. So it will put us at the low 30s, so it's possible. So it's even possible to get a 73% pullback even into this $33,000 range. But before that, we have key demand levels to consider, like um, this one this one over here. Then we have some price action here. Then we have this level. So even if we're gonna go down to this level, which I'm not sure yet, we have other levels above. But this is something to consider and not out of the question, because even if we fall 73%, it will still be diminishing returns. So now that we have that out of our way, like I said in previous videos, like this would be likely probable the first back-to-back yearly red candles in a row in Bitcoin's history. So that's another factor I'm seeing. And another factor that I did a detailed analysis on similarities of the 2021 cycle to this cycle would be, here we had a massive support, right? So price has this blocked here, and see all of these wicks. Basically this was a big strong support. But if I go to a lower time frames and I go back here, I remember we had three touches on that support. So we had this touch, and the third time we tested this massive support, we broke to the downside. And I think we're somewhere around here. Why is that? Because if we go to this time around, we had a similar support, of course, at a higher level. We had this 6-month consolidation range back in 2024 in Bitcoin. So there's a lot of buyers here. There's a lot of support. So back in January, we had our first test. See, on February, sorry, we had our first test. We tagged again, but this could count as just the first one. This is now the second test. So we're testing this key area of 60,000, 61,000 range many times now. So this area is getting weaker, So imagine price would need to reclaim this resistance, and we also have this massive over resistance ahead. So even if price rallies over here, this would be a lower high. See, we're creating lower highs. We have been creating lower highs. So that would still be a mid to high time frame bearish structure for continuation to the downside. So I'm gonna watch price closely, but my expectation is the next time we really test this support, it's gonna likely break down, because the more times price touches a key area, trend line, or resistance support, the weaker it becomes. So next time, my next target will be like 55K area, which would be will take out all of this liquidity over here, and I'll go level by level. But another thing I see on the weekly time frame compared to last cycles is price went below the 200 SMA. See, we went down 30%. So we went down 30%. Let's do a measured move here. 30%. Right now, basically on the weekly chart, which is an important high time frame, see, we have been trying to bounce from the 200 SMA, but we haven't been able to really have a big bounce. And if we have a measured move and we go, let's say 30%, see, it will put us around this key support level I have, and will put us in the low 40s. So that's another factor that I'm showing you guys why there's more potential downside. Now, if we go to a monthly chart, see, we cannot see the 200 SMA, but we can see the 50 SMA. So the same thing happened, right? We went like 30% below that SMA, and if we do the same thing here, it will put us at a similar target that the recent analysis I just showed you guys. So that's another factor. So many different factors are aligning and showing why it's actually possible. The other thing that I'm seeing is on the 2022 bear market lows, basically on the weekly chart. See, as I mentioned in previous videos, we had a bullish divergence on the weekly, which marked the bottom, right? And right now we're seeing the same. So we're having a bullish divergence, right, on the weekly, and probably we could get a short-term bullish price action, but overall mid-time frame, I expect this not to play out the same way. So I expect, a lot of people know this, a lot of people are seeing this as well. So I expect it to play out differently. So I expect lower prices, because yeah, you could read this and a lot of people could think, oh yeah, this is the bottom, the same thing, but they don't actually analyze the different data sets that I'm giving you as of to why we're seeing more a higher probability as well. If we guys see, we still haven't gotten like this big volume, so that's another thing that I'm waiting for. And now let's look at the USDT chart, because if we go to the USDT chart, dominance chart, which is the stable coins dominance chart, we actually have and see in a high time frame, we can see the high time frame structure creating higher highs and higher lows. So the higher this chart goes, basically more people sell their crypto assets and go into stable coins. So recently this chart retested the 2021 lows, the 2021 highs, excuse me, which this marked the bottom on Bitcoin. But because it's, like I said, it's inversely correlated, so this chart actually did a new all-time high. So that's pretty bullish, meaning bearish for crypto, on this chart around. And if I go and look and go to a USDT dominance plus the USDC dominance, see, this chart is lagging because we still haven't retested the 2021 highs, see? But this was a key area of resistance. See, price rejected here, but now reclaiming here, and we're like consolidating, and eventually I'll expect a retest of these 2021 highs, which would coincide with more bearish price action on Bitcoin. And so once, if price gets here, I would go to a Bitcoin I'll go into a Bitcoin price chart to see at what price levels are we gonna get there once the USDT dominance, USDC, potentially goes higher. So I want to see where the dominance is once price gets to this zone, and I'll get more information that I don't have now to really see which could potentially be prices low to the bottom. Okay, let's go now to the go to a weekly time frame here. Okay, the SMAs are showing a different story. So we never had that bearish cross here on the SMAs, on the EMAs, excuse me. But we are potentially anticipating a death cross on the EMAs. So this would be a first time this would happen in Bitcoin history, at least in the weekly time frame. So this is another factor as I see a lot of probability of more potential downside. Now let's go to a 3-day, right? What we can see on the 3-day. So back in 2022, right? I want to mark the time where when RSI was oversold. So here, remember, in the big support I was talking about, basically we had the RSI on the 3-day at the most oversold it had been, I think, ever, or in a long time, since 2019. So even after that low RSI, we basically had a drop of 44% more to the downside. And if we go right now, basically we had a low RSI on the 3-day at this time, right? And we had a drop, right? We had a drop. But if I go to the monthly chart, the concerning thing is I'm seeing the RSI going below the 50 on a monthly chart. So if I go to a weekly chart as well, it's still oversold. So based on my experience, prices and the RSI could stay and go even lower. Like I really think this could, on the weekly chart, easily even retest this, and once price start going lower. So that's another thing that is giving me more a cautious bias, because even from the lows we're still up 85%. So we're still 85%, 285% up. So from the previous 2017 high to the lows, Bitcoin went down 20% on the 2021 bear market. And if we want to get around the 20% we got, see, we're still not even there, you know, like we will still at a minimum need to get to 51K. And but the only difference I see is, like, if we get to 51K, if we get here, all of these people are gonna be losing money. All of these people, even people that bought back in 2021. See, so there's gonna be a lot of more selling pressure, and that's why I think, and it could be healthy even for the longer term picture for Bitcoin, to just like leverage all the flush out all the leverage, you know, and eventually getting somewhere into this zone, for me to start getting interested again. So I'm gonna finish the video over here. If you like it, follow me on X, subscribe to my channel, and share, please. Bye.